Hi everyone. I was actually making something else and this came about sort of by accident. But it turned out so pretty that I thought I'd show you how to do it. It's a two-part box. I should probably have put some thumb holes in there, but never mind. With a window, and it has 9 tea lights in. Just scented tea lights. It just turned out so really pretty that I thought I'd show you how to do it, how I did it. So there you go. Right, it's from this pad that I picked up in the works the other day. The shop doesn't normally have these big pads anymore, these 30.5 or 12 by 12 pads anymore. I usually could have to go online, but when I went in the shop they had these, just this one design, so I bought all 3. Sorry if you use my shop and there are none left. But I don't know if they're just old stock they found out the back, or if they're brand new stock, because I only got an order from the company online last week, was it? And they weren't around then, so I'm not sure. Anyway, you can get the whole of this and all the wraps for your candles out of one sheet. Okay, this is actually one sheet. It just changes as the colour changes as it goes around. Right, so what you need is one sheet cut into 21.75 by 15.25, and I'll tell you a tip in a minute. And the base is 21.5 by 15. Cut this one first, because then you're cutting down the centre of your paper at just about the centre of your paper at 15. But go for 15 because we need that extra bit that's left to make the lid with. So cut your paper in half at 15, or there half. It's 30.5, so you know you're going to have a 15 and a 15.5. But do it that way first and cut your lid. So you're going to cut it down to 15, then you're going to cut it the base down to 21.5. Okay. Then from the other piece that's left, you're going to cut a slither off, because it'll be 15.5 wide. You need it to be 15.25. If you leave that bit on, it might be all right, but it may also make your lid too slack. I'll leave that up to you. And it's 21.75 in height. There's only 0.25 in it, between that and this, but that's all you need to get the lid to fit snugly. You'll also need, and I'm sorry I got carried away and stuck it down already, you also need a little piece of scrap card cut to 9.5 by 2.5, because we're going to use that to cut the aperture out of the top of the box. Okay, but as I say, sorry, I forgot what I was doing and I stuck it down already. So those two. Then from the scraps, and there's 2 scraps left from the same sheet, you need to cut, and you can get them more, I think you can get all 9 out of one of the scraps. It just depends how you've cut it. But you want 9 little slithers measuring 1 by 14 centimetres to wrap around each of your tea lights. Okay, and then you still have a piece left if you want to decorate later. Right, so I'm not sure what you can see in that camera angle at the minute. Okay, so go back to your base. So this is the 21.5 by 15. You're going to score a border round, all the way around at 1.5 and again at 5.5. All the way around. And you will get this. So you've got lots of squares, but you've got a long piece with lots of squares at both ends. Okay, and then on your one that's slightly bigger, which is the 21.75 by 15.25, you're going to do exactly the same. 1.5 and 5.5 borders all the way around. Okay, that's the best way you can see it, I think, maybe on this one. So you've got like lots of folds anyway. Okay, so fold down and burnish all of your folds on your base first. Okay, because we don't need to do anything with the base as far as acetate or anything goes. And then we're going to cut off, as we usually do. I've done reinforced sides on this box, that's why there are 2 borders, because it's going to hold 9 tea lights, and they might not seem like a lot, but we are only talking double-sided paper here. Okay, so I wanted to reinforce the sides of the base and the lid. So I'm just cutting these 3 sections off each of the corners, just to show you what I'm doing. And I'm not doing it very well at all. I think I need a coffee. So same again at this side, just cut the 3 small sections of the corners away. I'll try and leave that there so you can see in case you need the measurements, just zoom in on it. Right, so that's what you'll have. Oh, sorry, that's what you'll have. Okay, then we are going to, let's do this side first, cut into this to form a glue-in tab. Okay, so cut this free, both sides, all 4. Okay, then wedge it in a little. Again, I'm not sure if you can hear them floorboards upstairs. I did do a video this morning while he was out. It was lovely. So I have the radio on all day, so I don't hear the floorboards going upstairs. But I can't have the radio going when I'm doing the videos because it drowns out what I'm saying. Okay, so you've wedged those. Now tiny wedges off all of these little reinforcement panels here. So that's what you've got now. Okay, and the lid's going to look exactly the same. Okay, so we might as well go ahead and do the lid now as well then. Okay, so the lid works in exactly the same way, but I'm going to cut my wedges as I'm going this time. Oh, so that's going to be folded in. Cut your 3 sections off the corner. Cut into that one to create your glue-in panel. And then wedge. I haven't cut this very well, sorry, definitely need a coffee. Okay, now and a little wedge off your reinforcement panel at the top. Turn it round, repeat. Go all the way down that one to the second. Do your little wedge. Cut those 2 off. Cut that one off. Wedge, wedge, and wedge. Okay, exactly the same at the other end. And the last one. And wedge and wedge, and we're good to go. So this is what you'll have now. So this is your lid. Ignore that, it's going to be hidden anyway. So this is your lid and this is your base. Okay, I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, we're good. It's easy to mix them up because there's hardly any difference in the measurement. Right, leave them like this for a moment. With your template, okay, 9.5 by 2.5, put glue on the back of it and stick it in the middle of this central section. Okay, and then, you know, get it as central as you can, and then gently burnish it down to make your glue set a bit quicker. Then with a sharp craft blade, and I'm not sure if this one is, you're going to use this. Take your time, don't race ahead like I'm doing. My brain's thinking that as soon as I get this finished I can have a coffee. Just gently go around with your craft knife. Oh, broke my blade. Never mind, I don't need it again. Right, so that's it. I'll leave that up there so you can see that as well. I'm just going to get that out of the way so I know where it is for now. Right, so your acetate, I'm not sure if I gave you the measurements, 3.8 by 10.5. I'm just going to use my 3mm tape and go around the very edge of this aperture. And then there are two reasons to burnish your tape down. One, it bonds it better to whatever it is you're sticking it to. And two, it makes it easier to remove the carrier paper. Okay, and for that purpose I keep an old craft knife and I use the back of the blade and I just go underneath the carrier paper and it comes off a lot easier. Right. So careful with your acetate. It does fit in that box happily, but just make sure you're not going over the score lines accidentally before you burnish it down. Right, we're ready to roll. Glue in hand. This is my usual Anita's Tacky glue. I just decanted into this little bottle because I find it easier to squeeze. Right, so we're going to put our glue on all, this is the base, going back to the base now. We're going to put glue on all of these big gluing panels. Normally I would cut these down, but A, because it's only double-sided paper, and B, because 9 tea light candles way more than you might think they do. I want all the strength in this box that I can, and this is more than enough, but just don't be sparing with the glue. Make sure you've got enough glue on. Right, so get your corners as nicely as you can. Now you can fold these reinforcement tabs back out the way if you want to, because we're going to have to do that later anyway. So line up your corners as carefully and as nicely as you can so that you get nice sharp corners. Okay, it's always important when you've got a two-part box so that the lid's going to slide on the base nicely if all the corners are nice and tight. Line up your score lines as you go, obviously. Three down, one to go. And there's the fourth. Right, I'm going to make sure they're all stuck down firmly before I fold in the reinforcement tabs. Right, so again, don't go totally manic with the glue, but put plenty on and go glue all of these reinforcement tabs. Making the lid is exactly the same as making the base. So once you've done this bit, if I could edit videos, I would make the lid in fast forward, but I'm so engrossed in doing my crafting now that I've decided I'm closing the website. It's given me a new lease of life with me crafting. And I'm so engrossed in crafting, I haven't had time to teach myself a new computer program. I will, I promise I will. But I'm sure you'd rather have the errors in the videos and have the videos as have perfect videos, but only one now and again. Right, so what I'm doing, I'm burnishing this down really nicely, and then I'm taking the bone folder right along the edge to make a nice sharp edge along there. Okay, but it needs to be stuck down nicely because it'll hold everything in place. Right, so there's your base done. You can drop in your candles. I've kind of gone alternate. I've turned the paper around for every alternate one. So while I've done 8, while there's only one more to do, I'll take you through doing it. So I need purple. Right, so literally curl it round your bone folder just to get it going. Then wrap it round the base of your candle. I've give you extras so you've got room to play with. The ones I did in there, I was struggling because I'd give myself like a 1/2 centimetre to work with. So I'll give you like about 1.5 centimetres to play with, maybe even 2 actually. So you've got lots to play with, so you can pull it around till you get it tight and nice, so it's not going to drop off in the box. And it's nicely lined up. So there you go. So there's number 9. I think they look fab. Honestly, this was a happy accident. Right. We're going to do this lid exactly the same as we did the box. So we're going to put glue on the big gluing panels. You can fast forward this bit if you want, because it's exactly the same as the base. It's just, I don't know how to do that. So if you do, it's actually easier watching a video to fast forward bits than it is, because I just don't know how to edit it yet. Right. Oh. My brain still keep going back to coffee. So I need to get this finished so I can go make a coffee. Right, so again, really take care with your corners. You need them nice and crisp, nice and sharp. But make sure everything's well stuck down now. Line up your score lines. And you know it's going to be square. I'm trying to wipe the glue off my fingers before I go near, because the acetate's down there and I always end up with glue on the acetate. I'm doing my best not to. Last corner. Right, now gently peel these back a little bit, and I can see inside better anyhow. That corner's adrift. That's better. Right, and last bit, glue on your reinforcement panels. And then with your bone folder, finish those down to the inside of the box. Make that edge nice and sharp. Really sharp, that edge. Make it as nice as you can. Make sure everything's stuck down inside. Sorry, that's my bracelets scratching off the glass workbench. Last one. Right, that's nice and sharp. Okie dokie. And there it is. I totally love them. I hope you enjoy them. Bye for now.